So how did we get here with this idea and concept of retirement? Well, to answer it, we're going to have to go back over 130 years to a time when Queen Victoria was on the throne and Benjamin Harrison was the 23rd President of the United States. But why 1889? Well, 1889 is the year in which the very first retirement scheme came into being in Germany. It was the creation of German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, and in fact it was actually a youth unemployment scheme. In those days, people had to work until they died because there was no other means of feeding themselves. So the German state introduced a state-paid annuity that everybody over the age of 70 would qualify for. People got to 70, they would have to cease work, and their role was taken by a younger person. As infant mortality had improved so much, there were an awful lot of younger people around. So this was a growing problem. The idea of state-funded annuities caught on, and in the early part of the 20th century, the UK introduced its first state-paid annuity, and in the United States, Social Security came into being in 1937. This was a time when life expectancy was radically different to the way that it is today. Indeed, most people who retired at the age of 65 before the Second World War could expect to live as little as a few months, perhaps only as long as 2 or 3 years. We bring the clock forward to the modern time. Life expectancy, on average, these days is well over 80. And in some parts of the world, particularly where people maintain their health and fitness, it's extending into their 90s. It's completely absurd that you should expect to spend a third or even more of your life in retirement doing nothing. And by that I mean retirement as defined earlier. Yet despite this absurdity, employers, our government, financial regulators and the media, not to forget financial institutions, continue to believe that we should plan for retirement in the same way that we were doing 100 years ago. Accumulate some money, expect to live on that money, perhaps for longer than your grandparents did, but nevertheless, stop. And that is just completely absurd.